What's up, you guys? It's your girl Paula and welcome back to my channel for another video. As y'all can tell by the title, today's gonna be a story time. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and tell a friend to join the family. Alright, y'all, so let's get straight into it. So a couple of years ago, I had this best friend. Now that I'm older, y'all, I realized that I used to use the word friend, best friend, very loosely.
Because, child, looking back, it was a whole lot of snakes hissing around me.
So for this person, we're gonna name this person Allison just because I was watching Pretty Little Liar characters and Allison was one who popped up in mine. So me and Allison, we met over social media. We had mutual friends because she did go to an old middle school that I used to go to. Like, she had ended up transferring there when I had ended up transferring out of there.
So when she went to that school, we ended up having mutual friends, and then we eventually added each other on social media.
So the way me and Allison actually became friends, like actually talking, because y'all know you could have people on social media, but y'all don't really talk. Anyways, the way we became friends was that we used to literally talk through social media every day, like about everything, y'all, like relationship problems, life problems, family problems, anything we was going through, we would like talk to each other about it. So we used to do this for like months and months on end till one day we actually linked in person. And the way that happened was that Jace's mother was having a get together. If y'all don't know who Jace is, y'all, I'm gonna pop the story time right here so then y'all know who he is or whatever, but he's not important in this story time. But Jace's mother was having a get together at her house. So Jace and Jace's brother actually knew who Allison was because they used to chill on their outside timing, I guess, or whatever. So when I was on the phone with Allison that day, while everybody was like mingling and whatever, me and Allison was on the phone. While I'm on the phone with Allison, Jace's brother asked me, he was like, yo, who you on the phone with? And I was like, Allison. So he was like, oh, tell her I said what's up. Tell her to pop out over here. So Allison asked me, she was like, wait, what did he say? I was like, he said for you to come over here. I told her to come, but before she did, I wanted to check with Jace's mom to see if she was cool with it because that was her house, y'all. So I didn't want to just be like inviting people over. And plus, I know how her sons were, so yeah, that's a whole nother story. Jace's mom was cool with Allison coming over, so whatever. I ended up sending her the address, and she ended up coming. Since me and Allison were already talking for so long over social media, y'all, it was not weird. Like, when we first met each other, like, it wasn't awkward or nothing. It was as if me and Allison, like, literally met each other, like, knew each other for years or whatever. Y'all, so for the rest of that night, we just ended up chilling, talking, listening to music, and, like, making snaps or whatever. After we left Jace's mom's house, she put us in an Uber, y'all, because it was hella late, y'all. Like, literally, it was, like, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. Mind you, we were hella young at this point, so I don't know if y'all remember, but this is the point where Uber used to do, like, Uber Pool, and that's when they used to either pick you up with somebody or they used to pick you up and then pick somebody else up. But for this night, she Uber pulled us, but since Allison was going to a different address and I was going to my house, it was already like a pool thing. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, my first time taking goddamn Uber Pool, I thought I was finna get kidnapped, y'all. I'm like, who the hell is these people? Like, I'm like, what the fuck? So we get in the Uber, and the Uber driver drove to her house first because her house was closer to Jace's house. So when we get to the door and she gets out of the cab or whatever, like, I told the cab, like, let's wait until she, like, gets inside or whatever. So while we're waiting, y'all, and she's knocking, we're there for, like, about 5 minutes, y'all, and no one was answering the door, y'all. Literally no one. So her phone ended up dying while we was at Jace's house. So she asked me if she could borrow my phone, and I gave her my phone. So she logged on to, like, her messenger, and she was, like, calling her sisters, her stepmom, and whatever, calling people in her house just to see if someone was finna answer the door, y'all, and no one came to answer. Like, mind y'all, it's hella late. It was like 2 a.m. Not that late, but that's late. No one ended up coming to the door. So at this point, y'all, so she's calling. No one's answering. She's also knocking on the door. She's ringing the doorbell. Nobody's coming to the door. The cab driver, y'all, the Uber driver was like low-key rushing us, but we were like, wait, hold on, like, we just need to wait to see if somebody comes to the door or whatever. So next thing you know, we was out there for about 25 minutes, y'all. So at this point, the Uber driver didn't want to wait anymore. Mind y'all, it's hella cold and it's hella late. So boom, like, about another 10 minutes goes by, and Allison asked me if she could just come over to my house and sleep over because everybody in her house seemed to be knocked out. Because literally, y'all, no one answered, not to doorbells, not to phone calls, nothing. So when she asked me to come to my house, of course I was not going to say no, Cause for one, it's hella cold. For two, it's hella late. And bitch, I ain't finna leave. I was just not finna leave her outside. So I told her, yeah, and we got back in the car. And we got back in Uber. While we're in Uber, I'm low-key like internally panicking because my grandma used to be hella strict and she didn't like people coming over to the house, especially not late. So I had end up hitting up my mom. Like I had to make sure my mom was awake when we got to the house so that she could let my grandmother know that, like, you know, the situation that was going on, that nobody was entering the door and she just had to stay, and that she just had to stay over for that night. I texted my mom. She ended up texting back. She let me know that it was good and that just to not make noise, like don't be up making noise. After that, we went to my crib. We ate like a whole bunch of munchies. We stood up laughing, y'all, making hella jokes, making snaps, like just chilling for the rest of that night. From that night on, y'all, our friendship was like a sistership at that point. We were literally inseparable, y'all, to the point where she lived at my house at one point, and she was hella close to my siblings. She was close to my mom, my grandma, everything, y'all. It was like, at that point, it was like we was locked in, like if we were sisters or something. Also, keep in mind that me and Allison didn't really go through many weird situations in our friendship. We did have our ups and downs, like any friendship does have, but it was never anything like hella weird. Not yet. So now that y'all got the background on me and Allison's friendship, now let's start getting to where it starts getting weird, y'all. Cause yeah, so we gonna fast forward a few years later because this did happen a few years later into me and Allison's friendship. As I told y'all earlier, Allison used to stay at my house, so days are going by regular at this point. And I'm not going to sit here and say she used to stay at my house for the whole time of our friendship because that wouldn't be true, y'all. She used to, like, come back and forth. Like, she would stay for months. And the longest she probably ever stayed at my house was, like, probably for a year, y'all. But that was really it. But every other time, it was, like, mixed up. Like, some months, and then she'll, like, go back to her house. Days are going by regular at this point. And my actual sister was moving back from wherever she was moving from. So she was moving back home and everything was fun, cool, calm, and collective, y'all. When my sister moved back home, we used to literally have the most fun, y'all. We used to stay up, listen to music, have our own parties, y'all. It used to be hella lit. So one day, while we having one of these parties, like I just told y'all, one of my weird exes pulls up. I'm not going to really give too much detail on him because he's going to be in another story time. I did make a video about him and I named him Michael, and I think we're going to stick with that name. So the reason I bring up Michael is because people used to tell me all the time that Allison used to like Michael, or watch when you bring Allison around Michael. And I never understood what people, like, why people used to say that, y'all. Because honestly, even till this day, y'all, I be having my doubts. But then when we get to the end of this story, y'all gonna let me know what y'all think in the comments. People used to always be like, oh, Allison likes Michael, or Allison's not your friend. Be careful with Allison. Like, and people used to just say weird shit like that to me all the time. And I say weird shit because at that point, I didn't see it like that. You know what I mean? Like, you know when people try to, like, be funny on other people, I feel like a lot of people used to try to do that to her. So I never really saw it. I feel like the reason I didn't see it was because I trusted her as a friend. Like, y'all, I thought this girl was my genuine friend, but So one day, Allison basically moves out of my house, which wasn't out of the norm, y'all. Like I told y'all, throughout our friendship, which we was friends for a couple of years, like, literally. So throughout our friendship, like, she would come, she would move in, and then she'll, like, move out. And sometimes we'll stop talking, but it was never, like, we would stop talking in general. Like, it would be, like, we'll stop talking, talk here and there. So, yeah, y'all, she basically moves out. She didn't really say what happened or why she was moving out or, like, what was going on, what was the reason. But, like I said, it wasn't out of the norm, so I didn't, like, take it like, all right, this bitch moving out, that's a little funny. Like, I didn't take it like that because she used to do that a lot. So when Allison moved out this last time, y'all, it was hella weird because we stopped talking less, which honestly wasn't out of the norm, like I just said. But then eventually, like, we stopped talking at all.
And I know what y'all thinking, girl, friends probably grow apart. Like, y'all probably just grew apart, went y'all separate ways, did this, did that, and the third. Which we did, y'all. So one day my friend hits me up, and we're going to name this friend Spice. So she texted me, and we planned to go to Link by my house so we could go to the mall, to go to Sally's so we could go get some nail supplies. Because at this point, this is when I wanted to start doing nails, and so did she. So we planned to go together, and we planned to meet at my house. I start getting ready this day. I'm getting dressed. It's summertime, so it's hot as hell at this point. It's like July-ish. That's when Spice was like, what happened to Allison? She moved or something? And I was like, why? Like, because one thing about me, I was hella close to Allison, so I didn't, like, tell her business to people when people asked me her business. So I was like, why? She was like, oh, I have something I need to tell you, but if you go back and say anything, just don't say that it came from me. So I'm like, what? And she was like, the only reason I'm telling you is because I know you, this, that. You know that speech your friend give you before she got some tea for you? Yeah, so she was giving me one of those. Y'all, so as I'm in my phone, like, because I'm thinking she's about to just tell me some petty shit. Because for one, at this point, I really didn't hang out outside. Like, I didn't chill with much people. Like, I was literally, like, till this day, y'all know, I'm a homebody. Like, so I was like, what does she really have to tell me? Y'all, why Spice gonna say that Allison messed with Michael and that she said that Allison told her that Michael took her to a specific hotel area? Y'all, she told me that Allison told her about her boyfriend trying to flirt with me. Like, because Allison's boyfriend used to try to flirt with me on some good shit. That's going to be for another story time. I'm going to introduce him. And, yeah. And this is, like, an intro to Allison as well. So, yeah, y'all. But she was telling me hella shit, how she thinks that me and her boyfriend messed around. Y'all, just a whole bunch of tea, y'all. Like, she's just spilling tea. And I'm like, what? Y'all, so the thing that made me believe Spice, though, was because Spice was very specific. Spice was very specific on detail, is what made me believe that she was telling the truth. And on top of that, Spice and Allison went to the same high school. They chilled in school together. And at that point, I still couldn't pinpoint what made me and Allison stop being friends in the beginning. Like, what made the little switch? Like, I didn't understand it. I was confused. Like, I thought we just, friends grow apart and shit. But when I found this out, I'm like, wow. Y'all, I was in shock. As Spice is spilling more tea about Allison, I started to text Allison and I sent her a message. So, what's going on with you and Michael? And then I sent her 2 voice notes. So in those voice notes, I was basically saying, like, oh, so what's this I'm hearing about you and Michael and this, that, and the third? So then I ended up FaceTiming her. Her friend picks up the phone or whatever, a minion, one of the minions. You know how the girls be. She's like, oh, what the fuck are you talking about? You did fuck her, man. You did. That's all the girl kept screaming. I'm like, I fucked her, man. Like, I fucked her, man. And then Allison's like, give me the phone. What are you talking about? Give me the phone. Like, telling her minion that. She's like, give me the phone. So then she hangs up. So I didn't get to say anything. Like, no point across, nothing, bitch. So I texted. I was like, I'm effing your man, basically. Like, hold on. Did I hear what I just heard? And she's like, bro, no. So I called again. I don't honestly remember what that second phone call was about. Y'all, this was a minute ago. I'm not going to lie. So I'm not sure what that phone call was about. Y'all, why Allison go turn around and say, and I will pull it up for y'all, bro, you want to fight me? Because the way you acting make it seem like it. I don't got time for this back and forth shit. You know my body, bro. You know me better than anybody. Knowing Allison, she would have tried to clear her name up. Y'all, so basically, when I call Michael to see, like, what he would say, and I'm like, oh, so what's this I'm hearing about you and Allison? Y'all, why Michael gonna go sit out here and say, I'm tired of people accusing me of talking to Allison. I don't talk to Allison. I'm tired of, y'all. He said, you know what? I'm just not gonna come to Brooklyn no more. I'm tired of people accusing me. I'm gonna off myself because I'm tired of people lying on me. This, that, and y'all, a whole sob story. And I hung up on him. Because when he did that whole sob story, he basically confirmed it to me. And then the thing was, I also had asked, remember, I told y'all that Spice had told me that Michael took Allison to a hotel in a specific area. I'm saying specific area because if y'all watch my other story time, Michael used to work in different places. So this place that he was located, I didn't even know about it until I questioned Michael when I got on the phone with him. I was like, oh, so you stay in this place? How do you know that? Like, it was like a confirmation after confirmation almost, y'all. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. Me and Allison has talking, though, since this whole situation, but we never brought this situation up, which makes it a little awkward, but then it's like, I don't know, y'all. I really don't care, because this was years ago. I don't care about none of it anymore, to be honest, because I be in my own space. I be in my own space. I be in my own lane. So, yeah, y'all. But that is the end of the story time. Be careful who y'all call y'all friends. Also, y'all, let me know how y'all like the nails down below in the comments. Anyways, y'all, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend to join the family. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.